I want to tell you something. This might surprise you. It might sound like complete nonsense or a flipped version of the reality you've experienced so far in life, only to get a click, only to get a like. But it's not. What I'm about to share is the way I truly see this world, which is your success or your failure is irrelevant. Moment of silence. Whether you succeed or you fail, absolutely meaningless. To the rest of this planet, to the rest of this universe, to this galaxy, to all of it, to all the millions and billions of years prior to us, and the other millions and billions of years ahead of us, your success or failure, my friend, I hate to break it to you, doesn't mean shit. So now what? What I just shared with you, assuming you're still watching this video, is proof that just about every story you and I have heard as we enter this world is false. We've been trained to pursue. We've been trained to achieve. We've been trained to succeed, to conquer. We've been trained to believe that if we do those things, we will have absolute happiness. We will have whatever it is that we desire. And if you're a man, for some of you, that desire perhaps is beautiful women, lots of money. That's about it, really. Maybe a level of mastery if you are a very particular group of men like myself, where mastery and the ability to do something at a very high level actually means something to you beyond money and women and all the rest of it. But what does this mean? Let's entertain this thought for a minute. If your success or your failure does not mean anything, then what is actually left? What I believe today, what is left is your ability to enjoy every second of your life, laugh as much as you can, and make this experience, this human experience, this lifespan gift that you've been given, a lovely, joyful experience for yourself and all the people around you. That, in a nutshell, is what it means to be a magnetic man. That, to me, is what it means to attract, to have the ability to attract quality people towards you, beautiful women towards you, exceptional business colleagues, and even money towards you. Because money comes through relationships, money comes through interactions. Even if you're a doctor and you have to operate, as a surgery on someone, you're most likely, assuming this is not an emergency, in an urgent situation, you will probably meet your patient and you have to sell your skills to them, even as they're in pain. Again, unless they're dying and they have no other choice but to say yes. But even the most extreme examples, right, in occupations where you are going to make someone else's life so much better, they still have the option of saying no to you. This means you need to develop your skills to connect with another human being. You need to develop your skills to sell your product, for lack of a better word. And the sales skills, the connectivity skills, the emotional impact, the ability for you to impact someone else emotionally and make them believe, truly believe that you are there to help, you are there to serve, you are their friend. Not to be deceptive about it. Actually be there as their friend. Actually be there to serve them. That is the art that every single one of us needs to master. And what I want you to know is that if you were born with a penis, aka if you are a man, assuming you have maintained your penis all along, this path is much harder for you, in my humble opinion. Simply because due to an extreme number of violent years, and I'm talking thousands of years, by male hierarchical ancestors of ours, we are not to be trusted as men in this world. And that's just the way it is. I have a far easier time trusting a woman. Women, for the most part, have easier time trusting women. Men are dangerous. Men are dangerous. We have a tendency of aggression that exists in many of us. We have proven ourselves in the wrong direction to women for many years, and there is a tremendous amount of sort of genetic trauma that's just there, sitting there. So every woman has the right to question every man. And that's just the way it goes. Our job today as men who are alive and are doing good things in this world is to help women get through that fear, right? Break that stigma for them as best as we can. We can't break it fully because it's taken thousands of years for it to get to this point. And in some ways, it's probably even unsafe for us to break it fully for them, because there are still dangerous men today on this planet. There are still dangerous men who are going to abuse people around them, who are going to commit violent crimes. So in some kind of convoluted perception of ours, like this ability to kind of question one another is almost necessary for our survival. Now, here we are, needing to build connections with one another, needing to build connections in order to get laid, needing to build connections in order to establish businesses, but above all of it, needing to build connections in order to enhance our own existence, our own confidence, our own self-love. If you watch this video, you probably already have an innate desire to connect to the people around, to build relationships, to build interactions, build businesses. And perhaps that's what we're here to do as men, is to build things in this world. And those of us who actually devoted our lives to doing that, we've done well for humanity. You can look at the world of technology, which I'm speaking to you through. You can look at just about any other aspect of life. If you devote yourself to building something that is going to improve the lives of people around, you're probably doing okay. But in that process, you need resources, you need help, you need connections. Needing help is not something to be ashamed of. Needing help is a foundational aspect of being a human being. We are born to survive within the community. And our most ambitious desires require us to stay together, to support one another. The greatest warriors in the world of the ancient world, I should say, as well as the greatest innovators, all had the ability of bringing people together. The greatest seducers in this world, as well as perhaps even the greatest artists, the greatest filmmakers, music producers, all had the ability to connect, to attract, to bring people together. So this concept of developing yourself to become the man who is able to attract, this is not a choice. I wish it was. This is not a choice. This is not something you choose to do today or tomorrow or think about it until Wednesday. Maybe come back to it in your 30s and 40s. Reconsider it if it goes on sale. That's not what this is, man. This is what your father and your grandpa and your great-great-great-great-granddaddy should have taught the generation ahead, and they did not. And that's why you're here. That's why you're lost. That's why you constantly watch pornography and try to sedate yourself of this reality. That's why you start businesses and you back away when things are hard. That's why you find great lovers, you find great relationships, and as they get serious, you feel the intensity and you cannot hold on to it anymore. So you always fuck it up somehow. There are lessons along the path that you should have learned and you have not. And that sounds depressing, that sounds sad. But you have the awareness to understand something is missing. Just like a mechanic who goes to start a car, and as the car does not start, instead of panicking, instead of sitting there just hoping that it will magically start running again, knows that if you just pop the hood and search enough, it will eventually find what's missing. And that's the journey you're on, finding the missing piece. In the pursuit of that, what you cannot do is quit. What you cannot do is to give up. What you cannot do is to turn back around. What you cannot do is to assume that this is how it's always meant to be and give in to that. Turn the vehicle on. Be committed to that pursuit. Become the mechanic of your life. Thank you.